you today? Good, good. Your mom told me that you have your first eye doctor appointment scheduled tomorrow, yeah? Well, that's excellent. She said that you might have some questions about the eye doctor, though, and what you guys might be doing tomorrow at your appointment. Sure, I can help answer those. Let me ask, is it, from a place of being nervous about the eye doctor or just curious about what's going on there tomorrow that you're interested to learn about? Just curious, not so much nervous. Well, that's good. Cause yeah, the eye doctor, in my experience, is a very relaxing doctor to go to. And yeah, it's very minimally invasive and honestly kind of quite calming and relaxing. Um, so yeah, nothing to worry about tomorrow. I think you're gonna find it quite pleasant and enjoyable. Uh, but yeah, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have or give you an idea about what's going to happen tomorrow. Do you want to do it in an interesting way? How about we can pretend that we do an eye doctor appointment right now, and it'll give you the idea of what's going to happen tomorrow. You want to do that? Okay, great. Now, let me get into character real quick, and then we can go ahead and do the pretend eye doctor. Okay, just a moment. Hi, welcome into the eye doctor. It's a pleasure to meet you. Did you have an appointment today? Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and get you checked in here. Is this your first time at this eye clinic? Perfect, okay. Just gonna get a new patient profile set up. And what was your first and last name? Perfect. And what was your date of birth? Excellent. And your home address? Perfect. And that's all we need for your profile there. Next, being your first visit, I would like to just ask you a couple of questions in regards to kind of your vision and your eye health. Would you be comfortable answering a few questions? Okay. So, first question, do you ever have any issues with any blurry vision, or do you feel that you struggle to see things far away or struggle to see things close up or anything like that? Okay. And do you have any headaches that you feel are induced from, struggle with seeing things that, maybe from straining your eyes too much? Do you feel you ever have any resulting headaches from anything like that? Okay, good. And how about, do you have any allergies or anything that might irritate the eyes if you're around, such as, animal dander or pollen or anything like that, that, again, when you have an allergic reaction, will irritate your eyes and make them itchy or red or anything like that? Do you have any experience with any of that? And do you currently wear any glasses or contacts or anything? No? Okay. All right. So those are the base questions we always like to ask, just to kind of give us a baseline pulse and to have an idea of what shape you might already be in when you come into us. So I appreciate you taking the time to answer that. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the structure of the eye and talk about what we're going to be looking at here today. So for that, we're going to use our friend Mike Wazowski. Mike here has a nice big eye that is easy to use as a talking example and a talking point here. So that's why Mike's going to be helping us out. So yeah, in terms of the eye, the exterior structure of the eye has three major components. The white part of the eye is called the sclera, and the sclera's responsibility is to protect the eye from irritants and just make sure there's no harm or anything that comes to the internal structure of the eye. It also helps maintain the spherical shape of the eye. The colored part of the eye is called the iris, and the iris's responsibility is to contract and open and contract the pupil to allow the amount of light flow in and out of the pupil. Irises, of course, come in all different colors, which is genetic based. I see you have a beautiful eye color yourself there. Yeah, so that's ultimately the purpose of the iris, is to kind of be the shutter, for lack of a better term, of the pupil, to expand and close that pupil when necessary. When you're in a dimmer light source area, that's when the iris will expand to let that pupil get bigger, so it can allow for more light to come in. If you're in a brighter environment, that's when it will contract and get smaller, because we don't need as much light coming in since it's brighter. And then, yes, we then have the pupil after that, the black part of the eye. The pupil is essentially a hole in your eye that, again, allows that light to come through. And again, based on how bright or dim the environment you're in, is how big or small the pupil is. Now, for the inside of the eye, Mike, of course, can't really show us the inside of the eye, but I do want to talk a little bit about what goes on inside of your eye. And inside your eye, the light that comes through the pupil, you do have the retina tissue at the back of the eye. That is a light sensitive tissue that the light that comes in kind of collects on the retina, for lack of a better term. And the retina is what processes all of that light imaging that's coming through, and then kind of sends that information to the brain via the optic nerve, and it allows your brain to process the image that the light is bringing in. The retina is made up of some photoreceptor cells that we call rods and cones. Rods are the photoreceptor cells that excel in low light environments. So they help you with, maybe being able to see a little better in the dark. And the cones are responsible for helping us interpret colors. So that's all what's kind of going on within the eye today, and that's everything I'm kind of going to look at today. We're going to look at the health of the physical part of your eye. I'll be looking at the iris, the sclera. One part I neglected to mention is the cornea, which is kind of a clear, transparent shell, for lack of a better term, over the entire exterior of the eye as well. That we always like to look at that as well. And then using a light tool, I'll look in through your pupil and kind of check the health of your retina and things like that, and make sure everything's looking good there. But does that sound fair for you? Any questions at all to this point? Perfect. But yeah, the eye's a pretty fascinating organ. It's it's amazing what it can do, and just the structure of it's impressive. So thank you for letting me share that with you. But with that, yeah, let's get into the exam. Okay. So perfect. Just tracking the exam and noting that we are moving on to the physical inspection of your eye. And since I will be getting fairly close and touching your eye or touching around your eye, I'm putting some gloves on here. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to have to get a little close here. Okay, we'll start on this side. Just feeling above the eye. Up in the eyebrow section. Just applying slight pressure. Okay. Let me know if this hurts at all or any discomfort, okay? Can you look up for me? I'm going to pull that bottom eyelid down. Okay. And then if you can look down for me, pull that top eyelid up. Okay. Again, I love the color of your eyes. Very pretty. Okay. So yeah, everything looks good on this side. No pressure, no pain when I'm applying here. Okay, good. And if your eye's not red or anything, so that's good. The blood vessels in there look very healthy. Let's look at this eye now. Okay. Again, just up by the eyebrow. Okay. No pressure. Okay. All right. Can you look up again? Pull down. Good. And if you can look down. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so on the initial physical inspection there, the exterior of your eyes look good. I see no redness. I didn't notice any type of swelling or any um, growths or anything that I would potentially might see due to some other conditions or anything. Yeah, so everything looks good on that initial physical inspection there. So I appreciate you allowing me to do that. So I'm just going to mark that down here. Okay. So for the next part, we will do the eye chart, the Snellen's chart, and see how well you're able to read at a distance. So let me grab that. So here's our Snellen's chart. So for this, we can just work down and see how far down we can get. And we'll see how well you're reading that, and that'll give us an indication of the strength of your vision. If you're nearsighted or farsighted, this is a good tool to help us or gain that indication and level of understanding. Okay, perfect. So start at the top. Perfect. Hmm. Hmm. Correct. Perfect. Good. Good. Hmm. Good. Perfect. Good. Okay, so beneath this green line now, this is where we kind of strive to get all of our patients to, if we can. This is where we like to see for kind of optimal health of the eye. If you notice these numbers over here, this indicates how well your reading vision is. When we see 20/25, what that means is that if you can read everything in that line, you can read at 25 feet away what most people or a healthy eye can read at 20 feet away. So 20/20 is what we call that kind of perfection zone or sweet spot, meaning if you can read this whole line, you can read at 20 feet what we would expect you to be able to read at a 20-foot distance. So these are our sweet spots. If we can get you in here, that's always our goal. Anything down here is just even better. It means you have even better vision. So yeah, you were perfect up through the 20 to 30, which again means that you are able to read at a 30-foot distance what we would expect someone to be able to read at 20 feet. So that is excellent. But we would love to see how well you can do in here. So I just want to give that little background. So let's try these two lines here. Okay. Let's try one more. Let's try the 20/20. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. I think we'll be good there. So you did miss just a couple in there, but you still did excellent in there. So I am very happy with where we're at off of that. The couple that you missed is nothing to really be alarmed at. They're common ones. At again that distance expectation. So you did very good with that. So great job. Let me set this to the side and we'll move on to the next part of the exam. So for the next part, this is where I'll be using my light tool to shine the light in your eye and get a good look at your retina back there and just kind of look at the overall health at that. See if there's anything that I think needs additional concern for us to look into further. We never anticipate to find anything, but in the event we do, we can refer you for additional follow-ups with certain specialists if necessary. but I don't, of course, we never expect to find anything. But you okay if I get in there and take a look? All right, so this might be a little bright, so brace yourself. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I know it might be a little difficult, but try not to blink as long as you can. Okay. Just pull that eyelid up. Okay. I'm going to come down from this side. Okay. I'll give you a minute to blink a little bit now. I appreciate that. Go ahead and give those eyes a rest for a moment. But yeah, your right side looks good so far, so that was good. I'm going to look at your left eye now. All right, ready? Okay. Working in there. Lifting up that eyelid again. Okay. And bottom. Sorry for the brightness. Okay. So again, I'll let you blink that out a little bit. But your retinas in both eyes looked very healthy. Nothing that I feel a need to be concerned about or alarmed with at this time. So that is excellent. What I'd like to do next is just to see how well your pupil contracts and reacts to light. So I'm just going to come in from the side here. And right now I expect it to be a very wide pupil. Okay. But as I come in, I was expecting it to contract, which it did just fine there. Perfect. One more. Okay. And now let's look at the other eye. Good. Good. And one more. Good. Awesome. You are doing excellent so far. Perfect. Okay, so for this next part, I'm going to just see how well your eyes can track and focus on light sources. So I'm going to have you follow the light as I make some patterns with it. I want you to keep your head still and move only your eyes, like so, okay? All right, go ahead and follow the light. Perfect, excellent. You did that very well. So, for the next part, we're going to do some peripheral tests. So let me get more centered with you here. So we are going to have both my fingers here. I'm going to move them away, and you let me know when they leave your peripheral vision, okay? So here we go. Good. Last one. Good. Okay. For this next part, I want to check your peripherals still further by doing finger counting. So what I'm going to do, you're going to keep your head perfectly still again, look straight at my nose, and I'm going to hold up different numbers in different areas, and I want you to tell me how many fingers you see up, okay? Okay, let's give that a shot. Good. 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 Good job. Perfect. You're doing excellent. Awesome. Yeah, things are looking fairly good here, so I greatly appreciate how well you're doing so far. And again, you're feeling comfortable, hopefully, still, and nothing is alarming you or any questions to this point. Perfect. So the last part I wanted to go over, I mentioned just a small color blindness test. This is again just to see if you have any potential color blindness with mixing colors up at all. So with that, I have some fun glow sticks back there. We're going to crack those, and you just tell me what colors you see with those. Okay, we'll just grab a couple of them. Okay. All right. So here's that first one. All right. And what color do you see here? Pink. Excellent. All right. And our next color. All right. Here's that one. Blue. Perfect. And our last one. Green. Perfect. Awesome job. So there's those three. Perfect. Great job on that. So with that, I don't expect any color blindness or anything off that. You did very well there, so I appreciate that. So yeah, with that, that concludes the full eye exam. Again, you did very, very well, so I appreciate that. Everything looked again in great shape. Your physical eye health looked really good. Vision looked really good with how well you did with reading the Snellen's chart. And no concern, I believe, at this moment for color blindness or anything like that, based on the small color blindness test we did there. The only thing I would feel okay recommending is, again, you did very well with the vision test, but I think it would not be at all a negative opportunity to maybe have some glasses, just if you feel you ever are straining with seeing things at such a far distance. We could offer glasses and a small prescription for that. So if you like, we have a couple frames that we could look at and see what you think, and see if you want to get a pair of glasses. Okay, yeah, let's look at those. Here are some nice round black frames for starters here. Very durable material. Almost give a Harry Potter vibe slightly. Let's try those on you here. There you go. How does that feel on your face? They look good. Go ahead and take those off. You want to look at the other two pairs as well? Okay. These ones are my favorite, because my favorite color is red, but a little more of a still slightly rounded, but not a full circle, a little more rectangular shape to them. Same material as all three are the same material. Yeah, I'm gonna try these ones out. There you go. Okay. And how do those feel? Just a little tight in the nose. Well, we can always have them adjusted if you choose those frames. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and take those off. All right. And we'll look at that last pair real quick. All right, and these ones are our most popular pair. The blue is very popular, and then just the design of the frame is a very popular, it's our sleekest looking frame style. So our most popular pair by far. I'll try that. Okay. There you go. All right, how do those feel? Good, you like those ones? Awesome. Perfect. Well, if those are the ones you would like, we could definitely get the prescription ordered for those. And once those lenses come in, we can have them put into the frames. And our office can give you a call when those are ready for you to pick you up. Usually it only takes like 3 to 7 business days. Does that sound good? Perfect. Well, we made sure we had all your appropriate contact information, so we can give you a call when those are ready for you to come pick up. Okay. Well, I thank you very much for coming in today, and don't be a stranger. It's very important to always have your eye health checked out and looked up to date or kept up to date, and make sure that there are no, growing issues or your vision's not worsening or anything like that. So we always encourage coming in at least twice a year. Okay, so we'll be giving you a call in around 6 months or so to see if you are interested in scheduling another appointment to come back in at that time. Okay. Perfect. Well, it was very nice meeting you. and you'll get that call from us soon when those glasses are ready, okay? Take care. Bye bye.